Good morning children, welcome back. So today let us learn moisture. The water from the land and from different water bodies evaporate to form water vapor. The amount of water vapor or moisture at a given point is called as humidity. So the amount of water vapor or moisture that is there in the atmosphere at a given point is called as humidity. As air becomes warmer, its capacity to hold moisture also increases. As the temperature increases, the amount of humidity also increases. And humidity can be measured in two ways. They are absolute humidity and relative humidity. They are absolute humidity and relative humidity. Absolute humidity is the amount of water vapor present in unit volume of air, and it is expressed in grams per cubic meter. So absolute humidity means the amount of water vapor present in air at a given volume. So it is expressed in grams per cubic meter. So now relative humidity. It is the ratio between the amount of moisture and the total amount of water vapor that air can hold at a given temperature is called as relative humidity, and it is expressed in percentage. This is expressed in grams per cubic meter and this is expressed in percentage. The relative humidity is the ratio between the amount of moisture and the total amount of water vapor present in air at a given temperature is called as relative humidity. So now let us see condensation. Condensation is a process by which the water vapor in the air cools down and changes into water or ice. So condensation means it is becoming small. So it is changing its physical nature. Through the process called condensation, the water vapor in the air, it is going to become water or it is going to change into ice. It occurs when relative humidity is high. So this condensation happens when the relative humidity is high. The warm humid air rises up and comes in contact with cold air. So in condensation, the warm air which is there in the atmosphere will rise up and it comes in contact with cold air, and their condensation will happen, and during condensation water droplets, dust particles, airborne particles all mix together and water droplets will be formed. When more water droplets are formed, then all these droplets together form a cloud. So when there are more water droplets, what will happen? They all come together and form a cloud, and this leads to fog, mist, frost and dew. All these are like tiny water droplets. Mist means tiny water droplets. Frost means ice crystals. Fog and dew also have same meaning like water droplets. So this condensation leads to fog, mist, dew and frost. Now let us see precipitation. In precipitation, the clouds become heavy and they become large. And if they become heavy and large, what will happen? Example, if we take a sponge and if we dip that in water, what will happen? It can absorb some amount of water. And if there is excess amount of water, what will happen? If we lift it up, water will start oozing from the sponge. So in the same way, clouds also act like that. If they become heavy and if they become large, they can't hold more water. So they fall on the earth and we call it as if it is in a liquid form, we call it as rain. So because of this gravitational force, they fall onto the earth in the form of rain. That can happen only in hot climatic conditions. But if we see in cooler areas, what will happen? The rain freezes in the clouds and comes down as snow, hail or sleet. So in cold climatic conditions, what will happen? Rain cannot fall down. Even if it want to fall down, because of the atmospheric cool temperature, it cannot fall as a single droplet. So it will change into snow or hail or sleet. A hail is a pellet of frozen rain and a sleet is a rain with ice. So the rain falls in the form of snow, hail or sleet. We cannot see droplets in cooler areas because the temperature there will be very cold. Rainfall is of three types: convectional rainfall, relief rainfall and cyclonic rainfall. So let us learn everything now. So the first one is convectional rainfall. This type of rainfall we can see near the equator. We know that near the equator the temperature will be high. So when the temperature is high, obviously the humidity also will be high. And when the land gets heated up, the air around it also will get heated up and it will raise. And when these hot air mix with the cold air, which leads to condensation, and that leads to towering cumulus clouds. When these clouds get saturated, rainfall occurs. So when these clouds get saturated, rainfall occurs. The second one is relief rainfall. This rainfall takes place when a relief feature like a mountain stands on its way of moisture laden wind. So when a mountain is standing on its way, when the wind is blowing, and when this wind hits the mountain, the wind is forced to raise. When the wind hits a mountain, the wind is forced to raise. And when this wind raises, the air cools, condenses and brings heavy rain to the windward side. Windward side means the direction where the wind is blowing and hitting the mountain. That side is called as windward side. And the other side of the mountain we call it as leeward side, where the wind is not hitting that side. And the opposite side of windward side is leeward side. And where the air is hitting the mountain, we can see heavy rainfall in that area, and on the leeward side we can see very little rainfall, and that rainfall we call it as rain shadow. Cyclonic rainfall. So this type of rainfall occurs when warm air is forced to rise up by a body of cold air. So we can see this type of rainfall in both tropical areas and in temperate areas. So in tropical areas, the cyclonic rainfall is associated with intense storms. Those are called as cyclones. So in tropical areas, cyclonic rainfall is associated with intense storm and we call it as cyclone. Cyclones are formed when air over the sea heats up and rises, leading to formation of an area of low pressure on the surface. So how are cyclones formed? When the air over the sea heats up, and when it is heated up, it will rise up, leading to formation of an area of low pressure. So when it is raised up, it is leaving an area with low pressure. Colder and heavier air from the surrounding rushes into the air of low pressure. So when it is raising up, colder air and heavier air that is there in the atmosphere will rush into the area of low pressure and it will warm up the layer again, and lighter air to rise and condense. Cyclones are characterized by heavy rainfall accompanying with strong and spiraling winds. So we all know when cyclones come, we can see heavy winds and spiraling winds. So this is cyclone. In temperate regions, cyclonic rainfall occurs when a mass of cold air meets a mass of warm air. So in temperate regions, the cyclonic rainfall occurs when it will occur when a mass of cold air meet with a mass of warm air. Then cyclone occurs. This happens in temperate regions. The warm air is forced to rise above the cold air, leading to formation of rain. So when warm air is raised up and when it mixed with the cold air, thus leading to the formation of rain. So children, today we have learnt moisture, humidity, condensation, precipitation and 3 different types of rainfalls. Hope you all understood the lesson. I am going to give notes and textual exercises for this lesson. Do follow that. Thank you.